Now being a third year medical student, I've realised that you can literally learn anything if you put your mind to it. The hardest topics that you think I would never understand that in my life, you literally get it like nothing just because you put the time in. So I have been known to be a standing desk bandit, and I do recommend. Hello, welcome to my video on how to be motivated when studying. So I'm a third year medical student now, and definitely when I started it was a struggle to be disciplined, especially coming out of not one but 2 gap years where I was working and traveling and enjoying my life. Going into the academic environment with 6 lectures a day, 1 hour for lunch, rushing lunch was horrible, and then having to study until I slept was such a big change. Now I'm able to study for very long periods of time and feel very productive while I'm doing it. So here are my top tips for you. So the first thing I'd say is to take out the emotion of it. So that can come from thinking, oh, I can't study, or I don't really understand this topic, it's so hard, how am I going to understand this? In the lecture it seemed like everyone understood, I was the only one with questions I don't understand. There's so many things like that that can just weigh you down and make you feel defeated before you've even opened your laptop. Try and let yourself be in a more neutral emotion and just think, you know, I'm at peace, whatever will be, and it's going to be fine. Focusing on changing your mental outlook towards studying and taking the task that you're going to do. Now being a third year medical student, I've realised that you can literally learn anything if you put your mind to it. The hardest topics that you think I would never understand that in my life, you literally get it like nothing just because you put the time in. So really don't think that it's you or that you can't improve from these things. So the next tip I have for studying and being disciplined when you're studying is to make sure that you have a prepared situation of where you're going to study. Be that the library, your desk in the kitchen, wherever that is, just make sure that you kind of made it not a sacred place, but somewhere that you go and it's time to study, you know? If you only have one small desk or a small room, like getting a mood light for your desk so that when you're having a relaxing time, you can turn it on like orange, and when you're studying, you can have it on a stark white, or just things like that to make it more of an atmosphere where you're studying. So my next tip is to get yourself a post-it note and just quickly write down everything that you want to do, not in a it must be done, but just to get it out of your mind, and so that it's not something that's, you know, lurking in the back thinking, oh, all this stress, all this. You can just have it out on a piece of paper that you can throw away really quickly if you need to, cross it out, stick it on your laptop, whatever you need to do, just so that it's not constantly going round and round in your mind. Once you've done your post-it note, you can put it into the reminders app in your phone. So then say it's more of a long-term thing, it's not today that you're going to do it, you can schedule it for the next day or a specific time, just so that you're really making the most of your time and just taking things out of your mind to take the guilt out of it. Now to go on to the actual studying, I think they say do the hardest thing first, but for me, definitely do the easiest thing first. So that might just be doing some flashcards or watching a really short summary video on YouTube or osmosis, just to kind of throw yourself into the topic. And then whilst you're doing that, you'll find yourself getting into a flow state. If you were going straight into writing your systematic review that is due on Friday or something, it's a big change from going to relaxing to then going into that really focused mode where you need to be typing as fast as you can. So just kind of ease yourself into things. Don't think that you have to do the hardest, biggest thing, because that can stop you from wanting to do it in the first place. And when you're at your desk, just think, well done, because listening often is always better than cramming, especially in medicine where there's so much to learn and you really need it to be in your long-term memory. So when you're studying, make sure that you simplify the concepts and just kind of break things down into chunks so that it's more manageable. Say you want to go into Huntington's disease, look at the pathophysiology, the management, and just kind of break everything down. Don't think you have to do the whole thing in one massive chunk. You can go into each drug individually, the side effects, the dosage, and all those things, just in a way that it's not overwhelming. It's not thinking I've got 10,000 conditions to do. So now you're in the flow state, simplified everything, you've got everything flowing, and you're just able to keep going until your phone buzzes. I know some of my friends whose phone is constantly on do not disturb, which I think is a bit, you know, intense, but it means that their phone is not making any noises, it's not distracting them. If they want to see what's on their phone, they literally have to go and pick it up. And for me, I even have an Apple Watch, so that is just another thing that can be distracting. You can customize your do not disturb for study mode. If you want certain people to go through, you can do that. You can change the noises so that if it's your parents or something, it makes a different sound. For me and my friends, we all use Forest, which is an app where you grow trees and it locks your phone in the meantime. It's lock all social media, and I only have apps like Spotify for music and YouTube for watching videos, so that my phone is not completely locked, but the things that I really do need are there. And I also go into settings and turn off notifications for lots of random apps that you don't need to know. Even with my email, at one point I turned off the notifications, but I had to turn that back on because I was getting quite a lot of emails. sometimes you're studying and then you're in the flow state, but then bzz, you get something and then it chucks you out and then you have to get back into it. So I think really just muting all of that is the best that you can do. And then with forest, it's well and good to put your phone on 3 hours on a strict lock, but I think at first definitely start with 25 minutes, then half an hour, then 50 minutes, then an hour and a half, and then just keep building yourself up to 2 hours. And then when you have your break, you can just go on a little walk with your friends, be to the water fountain, sit near a window as well, just so that I can look out and, you know, stretch the old eyes, because honestly I think it's good to, you know, do that accommodation and look far away, just so that you're not always, you know, focused on the same thing and like isolating yourself. I think definitely try and sit near a window with bright light, natural light, make it a pleasant experience. Another thing that I'd like to mention is a standing desk. So my GP on first year for our GP placement, he literally stood at his desk for the whole GP session, which was the whole morning and afternoon. And just seeing how he was literally interacting with patients while standing up, I was like, wow. I like to do it when I'm kind of sick of what I'm doing and I just want a new environment, because when you're standing up, say doing flashcards or anything like that, it's a lot more fun and a lot more fluid for you to be able to move and not feel so restricted. And you know, you can listen to your music and have something a bit more upbeat. It's a lot more pleasant to just be moving instead of always sat at a chair with your back like hurting and everything. So if you need to sit down, that's all right as well, but honestly I have been known to be a standing desk bandit and I do recommend it. I definitely want to get one for my house. It's definitely something fun if your university has them. So that's all my tips on how to be more motivated and study more efficiently. I think my main point was definitely the beginning one on just kind of changing your mindset towards studying. It shouldn't be as much of a chore as it is a daily lifestyle, I suppose. And if you do need a break, take it, because life is too short. And most of the time, if you give yourself a break, you'll come back to the material more refreshed and able to absorb it. So I hope this video was helpful. Please subscribe and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.